Hey guys, what's up? It's Noelle with Baker's Backyard Bounty. It's been a minute since we have done a garden tour and we've had some changes, some things blooming. Hey Lil! Lily's in her hot tub back here. So we just wanted to take you guys through the garden on a quick little tour. It is the middle of the day, so it's pretty hot. The sun is beating down, but we will make it through it. So we'll start over here in the cut flower garden. I had a friend recently tell me that she was advised to plant her cut flower garden where she couldn't see it from the house so that she would actually cut the flowers because they're so pretty to look at. You just don't want to take them out of the garden. But we've really enjoyed having cut flowers and creating bouquets for our home. And we've been doing that since, gosh, probably 2 months now. We've had fresh flowers in the house continuously. So that's been really, really cool for this first year of our cut flower garden. So some of the newest bloomers have been these dahlias, and they've been really, really easy to grow. This is my first year growing them. I got these dahlia tubers from Eden Brothers. I did the 90 days of dahlia, just a mix, and we've already picked some from bouquets. And many of them have started budding, and they just like bloom and bloom and bloom and bloom and bloom. So I've been super pleased with their performance. And as you can kind of see, like they continuously bloom, like even back towards the stem. Glorious. So this is another dahlia that just popped open really like today. It started showing these outer petals, and as you can see, there's quite a few blooms on each plant. So the cool things with cut flowers for the majority of the varieties is the more you cut, the more they grow. And that is what I keep telling myself when I'm tempted to just let them stay out here. Okay, hang on, I'll be right there. This is the last of the dahlias that are blooming right now. We have a lot more that are coming up, but I don't know what color they're gonna be. This is the one that I planted in the whiskey barrel. It was the biggest tuber that we had. And I'm just loving these reds and yellows, and it's not really unfurled quite yet, so still a mystery to see how it turns out. These Mammoth Russian sunflowers are starting to form their heads, so just waiting for them to unfurl. They're getting pretty tall, and I planted them towards the edge of the bed so they had enough space. They're supposed to get like 8 foot tall, so we'll see. And then some cutie little bachelor buttons. These things are very prolific. I've been cutting them every single day to put into the house or to dry with pansies and roses for some bath salts. Look at that pop of color. Calendula is just starting to open. I've harvested one flower already to dry for making some skin salves, but I have 3 plants in total, and from what I hear, you can harvest the heck out of this stuff and it just keeps coming back. It's supposed to be really prolific, so we shall see. We have the cutest little rabbit that lives in our yard, and it pretty much hangs out here 24/7. But I think it might be sneaking some bites of my strawberries for sure, and some other goodies in this cut flower garden, but it's hard to be mad about it when it's so stinking cute. I put strawberries here in the cut flower garden, and they're still coming in hot. Got quite a few growing. The Queen Lime Zinnia finally opened up, and it's just now opening, so I'm excited to see how it progresses as it blooms. And last thing I want to show you guys over here is this coxcomb coming in hot. I mean, this doesn't even do it justice. This bright pink is glorious. Motherhood called yesterday, so I didn't get to finish the garden tour. However, I wanted to hop back in and just finish it up with you guys today. So it is the next day. We have gotten a gnarly amount of rain this month. It's been insane, which, like, I don't remember the last time I've watered the garden because we've gotten so much rain, which is awesome. But like, what is happening is we're getting a ton of bugs. We are getting a lot of fungus on the plants, like disease, and I'm just kind of like over it a little bit. So it's gonna rain again, but we have enough time to sneak in a little bit more of our tour and hopefully like wrap it up so that you guys can, yeah, like follow along and stay tuned to how things are developing. When I watch garden tours, that's something that's really encouraging, is seeing people that I admire and really like respect in the gardening world, seeing their gardens like with plants this big, you know, and then by the time we get to like August, it's like all has been unleashed and it's like wild and producing so much. But it's really encouraging to know that everyone starts with plants that are like this size, you know. So in the vein of flowers, I'm going to take you to my cottage garden on the side of the house to show you what's happening there. So I planted these morning glories to vine up Lily's little playhouse. See, the nasturtiums are like getting icky, just so much humidity. But look at this glorious bloom. Like, God is good, creation is amazing. Butterflies and flowers remind me of that. So we have a lot more that are about to pop, so this thing should be covered in blue blooms in no time. Over here in my cottage garden, they're just now really starting to take off, and we've had a few bloom, but the goal is for them to climb these cedar posts that I have, but it just doesn't get as much sun over here, so they're slow growing. But that variety is called Clark's Heavenly Blue Morning Glory from Baker Creek Seeds. These hydrangeas I planted, I just got them at Lowe's, like I think they were on clearance at Lowe's last year, and they have really come back with a punch this year. Like, look at, I put some soil acidifier out here, and you can, like, I've heard you can use coffee grounds or like rusted metal even buried in the ground. So this is how they came out originally, as pink, but I wanted them to be more of a blue color, and it looks like it's working. So I'm really happy with how these have grown and come in. I've mentioned this before in my videos, but hydrangeas, some varieties like this variety grows on old wood. So if I cut all this back and pruned it, I wouldn't have much to look at next year. So I'm trying not to cut back a ton and just let them continue to grow, because they'll grow on that old wood next year. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, something I had to learn. The peonies are done. It said sayonara, there's not a one left. So just pretty green foliage now. So I mentioned this in my Instagram. Well, I did a post about it last week, but I haven't shared, I don't think, here on my channel. So our beloved bunny Bugs ended up passing away last week. I went outside to let him have his free time. We always take him fruit and let him hop around with the kids. And he didn't want to come out of his cage. He was super lethargic, and he wasn't eating strawberries, so I knew something was wrong. And yeah, took him to the vet and took Lily with me, thinking it would just be like a stomach bug or we could get like an antibiotic. And they said he was actually just passing away. So his heart rate was super low. Blood pressure was low, respiratory rate, like he was just dying. And so they went ahead and, yeah, euthanized him. I had to explain death to Lily. I wasn't really ready for that, and lots of tears were shed. He was just such a social, personable bunny. Yeah, you're gonna see me? So it's hard. Like, I hate losing pets, but especially like a sweet rabbit like Bugs really was a blow to our family, and having kids now that I have to share that with was really, really hard. So yeah, rest in peace, Bugs. Hop on, little dude. You are such a blessing to our family, and we really do miss him. Yes.
That's church.
I love you.
Church.
This is the church. This is the steeple. Open the doors and see all the people. Close the doors and hear them pray. Open the doors and they all run away.
Got a church?
That's a church.
Ow.
Potted up some extra sweet potato slips I had in these grow bags. I'm kind of doing a test to see if they grow better in grow bags or in the in-ground garden. Pollinator Garden, we have some sunflowers coming up, some dill that I'm trying to get going, but it's just kind of been lagging. It's a little too warm. I mean, look at these colors, y'all, of the Pollinator Garden. So we have the cranberry salvia, Greg's Mist, which goes insane, this yellow lantana, and then black and blue salvia, which is just taken off. So none of these I had to buy again. Those are all from last year. I'm grateful for that. Our berries, some of them look like they're starting to ripen up. Arapaho Blackberries, which these are our only berry bushes, and I really want to grow a lot more. This one hasn't taken off this year. I just planted them like last season, so this is our first crop. But yeah, the kids love berries. Lavender, this is the herb garden. We've been harvesting a ton of thyme and oregano to use in my new dehydrator. And as usual, the mint and the lemon balm for tea. And our chocolate mint, which I use actually a lot in my flower bouquets. I don't know if you're supposed to, quote unquote, but I love just that rich purple color. Like the dark green looks really pretty with the flowers. So I use it as filler. So this is our potato patch, and I've harvested several red potatoes, a couple of yellow potatoes. Yeah. But they have quite a few tubers growing on them, like little potatoes. They're just not big enough yet. So we went ahead and left them in the ground and just got the ones that were on the surface. I wanted to make sure they weren't going to get rotted in all this rain. And then, hey, I actually found some extra seed potatoes that I hadn't planted. They wouldn't fit in the original plan. So I stuck those in, and they have this really rich green growth. And we'll just see what we get off of those. I mean, why not? Just give it a try. But it's already, some of these plants have flowered, and the foliage is starting to die back. So, I mean, I know things are happening. It's just being patient. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the good, bad, and ugly. These are melons that have been in the ground for quite a while now. And I did different varieties, 4 different varieties of melons. Well, bugs have, like, I think roly-polies have eaten them down. So I've been re-sowing seeds like multiple times, just trying to get these melons to take off. They have been flowering, and this actually looks like a healthy plant. But the flowers have been falling off because they're just, you know, they're not pollinated. They're still really young. So I've been looking into hand pollinating melons, but I think I just need to wait for them to get a little bigger. As you can see, like, I have a whole row planted, ideally to trellis up this wrought iron fence, but I just don't know, y'all. My melons are kind of sad. I do have some summer squash coming in. This is like a Ford, I think it's called Ford Hook summer squash. And then I just planted a few days ago this Costanza Romanesca squash. It's supposed to have a nutty flavor, and it's an Italian heirloom, so I was just curious about it. So this whole row is squash, and I have the melons along the back, and it's just really hit or miss, like not really taking off. I am not giving up hope though, because I really feel like once the heat sets in and this rain lets up, I'll get a better feel for what is doing well in the garden. Oh, a boo-boo. This is our other raised bed, and it has the tomatoes, and I planted actually beans in here, and the beans have taken off. Lily's going to demonstrate. So my idea is to trellis these up the T-post. Okay, I'll hold your hand. So the beans by the T-post in the 4 corners are good Mother Stallard beans. I got those in seed swap. Here at the ends, I have Christmas beans growing right there and right there that are doing really well. And I'm going to trellis those up the string like the tomatoes. Christmas beans are similar to lima beans. We have basil running down the center, which I clip so much it hasn't really gotten a good chance to grow because I've used so much of it. But I'm hoping that our basil will really kickstart with the hot weather. And in terms of varieties over here, so we have a green zebra that bugs actually bit, and so I duct taped the stem not knowing if it would kill. He just like came and chomped it and then hopped off. Just a good memory of him. And I duct taped it, and like the plant hasn't wilted or anything. It looks really good. This is a green zebra, really good for fried green tomatoes. Here I have a red zebra starting to come in. Over there, I actually can't remember what variety this is, but I do know that this one is a triple crop, and it's really taken off. Ooh, yeah, don't pick it. If you have toddlers, you know what my heart just did. And then this is a Paul Robeson and a Lucid Gem. So all of them are doing pretty well. Oh, there's my other child. Baby's just laying there. Tomato Alley has also been doing really, really well. So as you can see, there's 12 more tomato plants down here. And honestly, y'all, like, I'm not sure all the varieties. I think this, I'd be lying to you. I don't know what this is, but I love that dark color at the top. It actually might be a Cherokee Purple. I grew those last year, and they work really, really well in our climate. They're very prolific. This one is just starting to take off, but it is a blue boreberry. And I have another one down here to show you guys. I have some Prudence Purple, some big rainbows. But look at this beast. That is a blue boreberry. Hey, crazy. So it is a cherry tomato variety, but look at that deep color, and it is just like popping off with fruit and flowers. I'm gonna show y'all what's on my back right now. Mom life. Yeah, I've been really pleased. And I got these seeds from Wild Boar Farms. They have a great variety of heirloom tomatoes. Tomato Alley. I'm pretty sure every single plant, but maybe one, has fruit on it now. So that's encouraging. That monarch has been hanging around all day. It's showing off for us. So yesterday I told you guys about the bunny that lives in our backyard. Well, we found out why. She has a nest with 2 little babies in it inside our chicken pen, oddly enough. Super cute. However, the rabbit chewed through our new omelet chicken fencing. So that investment, they ain't cheap, now is compromised. So Reed's not super happy, but hey, a mama's got to do what a mama's got to do, I guess. All right, here is the veggie patch, and right here is a Loofah Gourd, and I'm just trellising it on the garden panel. But look at this thing. Its tendrils are like insane. I just love that. They're like little ringlets. And then this nasturtium is really taken off, and I love that bright pop of orange. It makes me happy. So I went ahead and made these teepees. There's been a few varieties of teepee that I've made, but my other ones were too tall. They kept falling over, or they were just had to be too wide, and it wasn't practical for actually trellising things. So I took some loppers and just cut the bamboo in half and made these, and I've been really pleased with them. And this trellis is like my favorite. I don't know why. It's just super wonky looking, but those are just sticks. These are our beans. So I actually started over with my beans. The ones that I had started for the spring and transplanted just really were stunted. They weren't doing much. These look a lot healthier, they're greener, and they're growing faster, so I'm happy with that. I have 3 varieties of beans in there, some more beans. The roly-polies have like demolished my cucumbers that I had back here, but 2 are hanging on. Down here I have, these are actually cucamelons that have just started taking off. So those are Mexican sour gherkins, and I have a few of those. Back there, salt and pepper, cucumbers, and I think I might have 1 or 2 Armenian cucumber plants some double yields. But look, starting to flower. Again, probably won't be pollinated because they're still really young, but I don't know, that's encouraging to me. Here I have some varieties of squash. From Haas Tools, I ordered red curry squash, K-U-R-I, and then Cherokee tan pumpkins. And here where I took out my snap peas, they just got so diseased. There's a couple of them that are hanging on that I might see what happens, they're new growth. But I had to say goodbye to those, they were just looking rough. So in here I planted some Seminole pumpkins. I've been wanting to grow those, and here they do good in our region. All right, down here, this is my purple de Melpa Tomatillo, and I have 3 of them going, but this one was planted first before the others, its playmates, were eaten. So these are a little bit behind the other 2 that I've planted, but they're gonna catch up and hopefully cross-pollinate. But I saw a bee on this today, flitting from flower to flower, so that made me feel really hopeful and happy inside. This plant's gotten really big. It's got tons of flowers. I've never grown tomatillos before, so if you have any tips, just leave it in the comments below. I would love some advice because we love making green salsa and green sauces for enchiladas. That's one of Reed's favorites. So would love to have a good tomatillo harvest this summer. Our onions we have been harvesting slowly but surely. We have red, which is not quite ready, our red onions, but our yellow and white onions have been starting to flop over. So we've been harvesting those slowly and leaving them out to cure. I'm being summoned for dinner, so I'll finish this up with you guys pretty quickly, but these are our pepper plants, which have really started to take off. We have like Tullus sweet peppers, we have jalapenos growing, we have rooster spur, that's what these are. Very spicy, can be 20 times hotter than a jalapeno. Reed tried one, but we're gonna make chili powder out of the rooster spurs. And we have some pepper Reed picked out to make, let's see, paprika with. Our okra is starting to gain some momentum. So we have 3 varieties of okra. It needs that hot weather, so we're waiting on that hot summer to come. And then finally my sweet potatoes back here are starting to have a lot more foliage, so I'm hopeful that we'll get a good crop of those this year. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Sorry to rush you at the end, but dinner calls and I'm hungry. May you find the bounty in your own life and all the beauty that it holds, even in the crying. And we'll see you soon.